Welcome to B&B Studios, the home of Central Coast Rugby. Let's get stuck into another week of opinions and oversights from Berner and Barthy as they bring us the latest news. Good chat, good footy, good fun. Take it away, boys.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everyone, to the B&B Unplugging Central Coast Rugby podcast. Have I stuffed the cord there, or
It's
what?
a disaster.
This is just everything that's happening right now. Well, viewers, interesting way to start the recording. Barthy has tripped on the cable that allows us to record video, and in tripping on it, he has completely fucked it. So if you are watching on YouTube, you might as well listen on Spotify. Put the headphones in because there is no video. It's about audio. What is happening? Barthy's tripping over everything.
I'm filling out a WHS form as we speak.
B&B Studios needs a bit of a revamp, I think.
Oh, mate.
So no video this week. Apologies courtesy of Scott Barth for that one.
Yeah. Look, you can thank me. You don't have to look at us this week. You can just get to listen to us.
I'll put some sort of image on the screen so you can look at repeatedly for 30 minutes or whatever this episode goes for. Mate, to start us off, some outstanding news.
Great news, isn't it?
We are country champs. Central Coast Rugby winning the Caldwell Cup on the weekend out at Tamworth. Unreal.
Yeah, big congratulations to, first of all, I'm going to say the Central Coast Board and Stewie Jenkins, who's Director of Representative Rugby. They've made a concerted effort to try and increase the prestige and the honour to play representative rugby. And let's be honest, we haven't had the best players playing on the Central Coast. It comes as ebbs and flows. But sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. There's no real incentive, and there hasn't been for a while. And they've really made a concerted effort to fix it. Craig McWilliam, the coach, doing a great job. We've had both of them on before. Ethan, the captain, outstanding job leading the team and really getting the players on board, training. And it's all come to a fantastic crescendo of winning the Caldwell Cup.
I think even as you said, it's the commitment of that one extra training session to get there a week away from the families, and is that actually worth it? And that's a lot of players way out, and they're like, no, we're just going to train for the club. And having that success away is unreal. And Adam Dinkett,
he dinked it over in extra time.
Dinked it over, and got the win, which is huge for the Central Coast region as well. And obviously the Colts coming second as well, which is massive. Ladies ended up, I think it was fifth. They ended up finished fifth on the second day. So still a solid effort all around. So well done to everybody that went away, but amazing that we are Caldwell Cup holders.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get Craig McWilliam, the coach of the side, on, or as I affectionately know him as, Nutter, and we'll have a chat about what a great tournament they had.
Hey, Barthy.
Hello, my mate. How are you?
I am not bad for a Tuesday.
Very good, pal. Now, I'm just letting you know we are currently recording live, so be very careful of what you say to me. I've got Berner here with me, pal.
How you going, mate?
Not bad. What about you fellas?
Going well.
Mate, we're going even better knowing that you and the Central Coast players, administration have gone out and proven our region to be the best region in country rugby for the sport. So congratulations to you, all your hard work and everyone involved.
Thank you. No, it was a real team effort. I think 37 players attended training this year, represented by seven clubs at the championship.
Great.
And tough weekend away, but anyway, we finished up getting the result. It was good.
So tell us about the game.
Which part? Before or after the heart attack?
What was the heart attack?
During. What happened? Explain to the listeners what happened over the weekend, or just in that game specifically. We don't care about the lead-ups.
Yeah, we just want to know that the big show, the final one. Yeah. Talk us through it.
Oh, look, I think it was just a grind. We knew it would be a grind. We knew coming up with Central West was going to be another level above what we played the day before.
Well, they're traditionally a very strong district.
They won Colts in the women's, I think, as well.
Yeah, no, it was a tough game of footy, and the boys just hung in and took their opportunities. And we probably would have been nice to ice it in the 80 minutes, but anyway, we had to go a little bit longer, but we still got the result we're after in the end. But certainly a couple of nervous times there late in the game.
Nada, that's a wonderfully straight bat answer. I want to know who was the person who gave you the heart attack. Name names.
Well, who missed the tackle that led to or who was ineffective in their tackle that led to the heart attack?
Above my pay grade, boys.
You're solid. I'll give you that. You're solid.
Well done.
So, you've gone into extra. Was it 29 all going into extra time?
Yeah, it was, mate. 29 all, and we got about 2 or 3 minutes in, and got a penalty, and Adam iced that. We managed to keep them restricted into their half for that first 5 minutes. We had the 1 minute break.
Jeez, what
Topped up a kick off just in the last 5 minutes and held them all up. One of their blokes decided he wanted to put one on one of our blokes' chins and finished up getting himself red carded, which took another 2.5 minutes out of the last 5 for us. And
so great. Well done. Well done, whoever got punched in the face.
Take him up in the team.
Won't surprise you to know it was Joe Taylor.
Probably deserved it too, did he?
I don't think so, mate. It was them all. He was just doing his job.
He's always involved in a card of some sort.
Good on him. Good on him.
And then from that point, we managed to work our way back down there. We nearly iced another try, and a bit of an unfortunate ball handling error at the end, and then defended our way to the last sort of 30 seconds. And
who dropped the ball? Who dropped the ball, Nana?
I don't remember, boys.
Very straight.
Yeah, good stuff, mate. Well done. So,
it was a great team effort, fellas, and just really, really proud of the buy-in and the culture that the group started to develop, and that's been a goal in the program for the last couple of years. And I guess to come home with the chocolates is a testament to that it's starting to work for us.
Well, it's the ultimate goal, isn't it? It's you put it to create success, and that's exactly what you guys have done. So congratulations. Ethan spoke really well last week when we had him on, just to, acknowledging the extra commitment and I guess the strain it could potentially have and put on. He also spoke passionately about the quality of the players on the Central Coast and the quality of what we can produce once we get everyone on board. So, mate, again, really well done to you and everyone involved in creating that, I guess, that atmosphere that makes people want to play rep rugby again.
I think that's the challenge. But, a lot of committed people. Stewie Jenkins is running the program on behalf of the board, and Murray Cox and Hawani Rimi, Stretch, Craig Adams and Kyle Lanzini. They're all there every week putting something in to try and create the environment that we can deliver successful outcomes with. So, everyone should be very proud.
Well, mate, thanks for joining us on the podcast. A massive congratulations to you and everyone involved. It doesn't get any better or bigger than winning the country championships. That's what you've set out to do, and that's exactly what you've done. So, Nada, from everyone here at the podcast, a big congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, mate.
Mate, so from the highs of winning the country championships
to the absolute lows.
Yeah.
Do you want to turn that off?
Yeah.
Or do you want to answer it? Who is it?
Actually, it's a former player. Hang on. G'day, Matty Raywood, former premiership winning player with the Terrigal Trojans Rugby Club. We are currently recording live the podcast, so your timing could not be more outstanding.
How are you going?
Oh, no, hang on, mate.
Put him on.
No, we've still got him through the... Do we have you? Yeah, we should have you go again now, mate. You're good.
Scott Barth, how are you?
Yeah, he's on.
Mate, we're going fantastic. More importantly, how are you? Former premiership winning player and now residing up in Brisbane.
Beautiful place.
I'm fantastic. I've definitely crossed the border, but don't consider myself a Queenslander.
No, that's fair enough too. I wouldn't either. Now, what are your thoughts? We're just about to cover off on the demise of the Woy Woy Rugby Club. You will not be aware of this, but they have just folded from the competition. Or they have. Well, they've folded from first grade and second grade.
That's very sad to hear. A lot of great memories played on the cricket pitch. I was just watching a YouTube clip of a young Toddy Atkins about to play his 200 games for the Terrigal Trojans, and I believe his first game was against the Woy Woy Lions.
Oh, there you go.
That's where legends are made.
Very sad to hear.
Well, mate, thanks for interrupting the podcast. It's been great to have you on. Great to have you on, pal. And mate, I'm going to have to call you back later on.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Take care. See you, mate.
Good on you, pal.
Mate. Thanks for jumping on.
Great one. Great pitch up.
From the highs to the absolute lows, some devastating news this week in that the Woy Rugby Club for Premier 1, the elite team, is now gone. So Woy Woy have pulled out.
Premier 2.
And Premier 2. So Premier 1 and Premier 2 are now, Woy Woy have now pulled their teams. So I'm just looking now. Is a message from Kate. Circumstances have forced Woy Woy Rugby Club to withdraw from Premier 1 and 2. Therefore, the Razorbacks have a bye this weekend. Premier 1 and 2. Woy Rugby Club have been allowed to join our President's Cup competition. So Terrigal White will play Woy Woy this weekend from 11:50 at Woy Woy Oval. Mate, this is absolutely gut-wrenching. I think we kind of knew something like this was on the cards, or, with the forfeit a couple of weeks ago was, danger signs were obviously already there. But to pull Premier 1 and 2 is obviously it's very hard to come back from.
Yeah. It's sad. It really is. And you alluded to it, the other week when we spoke about. There's a lot of hardworking people around the joint.
Yep.
Just doing their best to try and keep it afloat. And at what stage respectfully, what stage do they have the right? And I think they've worked their guts out. And if it's not being backed up by players or numbers or just sheer volume of people to help out, then it's going to be a real shame to lose some of those top-notch people to lose them to rugby if they're not going to be involved. Because I really hope that they do stay involved and look to rebirth the Woy Woy Club that they sort of tried to do a little bit last year that was sort of ruined by COVID again. But yeah, mate, a genuinely really sad day, and I think it highlights some bigger questions about the structure of the competition, projecting forward. What may be the most sustainable number, size, all that sort of stuff.
Well, they folded the women's at the start of the year, and then they sort of have the tribute, and this is the other thing. They've got a team that's coming back this year. There's probably about 10 players in that is more of a tribute team to Adam Meaney. So those players are coming back, and again, this was the year that they were going to run that, and I think that's why the third grade team still exists there.
Yeah.
But without those 10 players that are coming back for that sort of one-off season, hopefully that's something that stays around, but they're not, you don't have your real dedicated bunch that is still there every single week. Like there's a motivating factor for this year, and that might not be a motivating factor for next year, unfortunately. And that's where they've, got to rebuild. And, I think I've said this many, many times, that there are great people that are at that club, but they're also aging people that have had to do this sort of thing so many times and just scrape together week after week after week. So
I can honestly tell you, mate, that some of those people who are putting in the hard yards at the Woy Woy Rugby Club are some of the greatest people I've ever been associated with when it comes to rugby. I've been involved with a lot of those guys from a representative level, in regards to coaching sort of Central Coast sides or having them on board as managers, but also just having them on board just as part of the rugby community. When I was as an opposition coach or as an opposition player going there, and mate, I really feel sorry for those guys. And if I was to rattle them all off, you're gonna forget a few. But those guys know who they are, and I actually really feel for them.
That's who I feel for most out of this whole thing.
Yeah,
is those guys that have, and you see all the stuff that they do put in. Just registering players, doing all that. It's like the amount of times they would have to go through the Rugby Explorer app and register players of a weekend, just to get them legally on the field and do all that. Like that's just one job of dozens that are done every single week by those people, so the players can rock up, sometimes after the game starts, and just to and field it. So I'd imagine there would be some element of relief, but also just shattered that it's come to this, and that is it's an unfortunate circumstance from the club perspective, but also how the competition moves forward. Which is another thing. So, but it's just shattering, and it'll take a hell of a rebuild and a hell of a plan and it's got to take those same people that have already, because they got the skill set to do it and they've done it once before, but it'll take those same people that are already worn down after year of this sort of thing to then go, we're going to do it all over again.
Yeah, I don't blame them if they go, enough's enough.
Yeah, I'm with you, 100%. If you don't have the players there that are or they've got players, but the commitment level, the commitment 100%. Yeah. And if you got the number of players that are willing to put their hand, not just play rugby, but a number of players or volunteers as well that are willing to put their hand up and say, no, I'll take this off your hands, I'll do this. Because otherwise, if you don't have enough hands, those hands that are doing it, it's just burnout, absolute burnout. And how much, and that's exactly what's happened now. it's not sustainable. How the club is running right now is not sustainable, and that's what you're seeing right now in forfeiting 1s and 2s. So personally, like when I was telling mates and stuff, it's shattering. Like this is your childhood that you were playing. This is the club that you played for. All the time growing up, and people go different ways for different reasons, and that's the way sort of life takes you. But it's still those memories of you can still go down and have a beer and watch the game. And that game's not there anymore. So if I want to go down with mates and Centurions Day, or to go down and just spend time with the people who've played 100 games of Woy Woy, that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So those old boys and the old boys Woy Woy days, you don't have them anymore because you can't watch your team. Like you're not going to go have it at an Evoke carry-on game or something. Yeah. So those days are gone. It's it's an unfortunate thing if that's how things roll, because you can't bring back all the players to band-aid a problem. It's got to be a sustainable thing of bringing juniors through, and obviously having that also makes it a lot harder in that there's juniors coming through, but what are they aspiring for? The same thing as we said about Gosford as well, that if you're coming through and you're playing for a club that doesn't have a strong senior base, how much are you going to stick around? And do you start at that age going, well, maybe I'll go to Avoca, maybe I'll go up the hill to Carrion, what do I do? So, absolutely gut-wrenching news. Personally to see everything that happens there. And also, we now have Woy Woy Stadium. You've got that stadium and it's unoccupied by a rugby team. Yeah. And you've got everything there to build an awesome club around. You've got the facilities upstairs, you've got the grandstands, you've got a media box, you've got everything. And just can't get the commitment from players. All right, well, on to some rugby this weekend. So unfortunately the Woy Woy situation has put us in a bit of a pickle moving forward with the competition. Last year when Gosford dropped out and we had a team drop out, we had an 8-team competition and it ran amazingly. And every week you had these awesome matchups.
Thanks for coming back and ruining it, Gosford. That's right. Look, I'm just paraphrasing what Bernard's trying to say.
So while I'm happy that Gosford now tag team with Woy Woy to jump out.
Your happiness makes me sick. It's so insincere.
So it does mean that we got 2 teams at the bye this weekend. So Avoca and Razorbacks both have a bye, which is upsetting. So Avoca was meant to have the bye. They got the Bay, and Woy Woy's meant to play Razorbacks. Woy Woy drops out. So unfortunately it means they've got a bye. How amazing would it be if those two went up against each other?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just going to check ahead, sorry, because I'm just.
So if this is we're at technically the halfway point right here and now.
Can I just go forward to the next couple of weekends, all right?
You can do whatever you like, brother.
So here's the bye weekend. Carrong have a bye. Gosford play Woy Woy. So that means you get Carrong Gosford again, which was a bloodbath last time. So that'd be amazing next week. And then you got Terrigal, who have the bye following week, round 12. Terrigal had the bye.
So you're fixing the bye rounds up, are you?
Oh yeah, so I'm just taking the team that actually has the bye and the team that has the new bye, which is Woy Woy.
Mate, one thing I'll give the administration a rap for, they've been very proactive in trying to solve these issues. The concerning thing about now is if we're exactly the halfway point.
It's got to be this weekend, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there might be a whole heap of
there's a lot of
field booking issues, and logistics, and that sort of stuff that gets him.
This is purely from a fan's perspective, going how amazing would these games be. The week after that, you'd have Terrigal playing Warnervale again. The week after that, you would have Warnervale Lakes.
Oh, awesome.
So these are obviously the teams that will have the byes now. So
mate, maybe a 6 and 8 team competition is the best format.
Yeah. I think 8.
Good quality first, seconds, women's.
This is what we said last year with 8 ran so well because this year you've had Woy Woy that have been at the bottom, and then you got Gosford as kind of the team that's not winning so much, coming back in still obviously doing amazing.
Everyone has to lose unless it's a draw with every game, obviously.
Yeah. Okay, Razorbacks.
Razorbacks. They're doing their best, aren't they? But Gosford are there in numbers. They're competitive and they're having a crack. See, as far as I'm concerned, fill your boots. Gosford are doing amazingly.
Yeah, definitely. But it's just that every week is like when I was doing those matchups is like how good would this matchup be? How good would this matchup be? And it goes back to that format we had last year where it's another cracker this week. All right, so on to this weekend's games. I'm sure there's obviously many reasons behind things, and it's not just easy as going, Evoke, you're now playing Razorbacks this weekend.
Yeah. Well, it's easy for us, isn't it?
It's very just looking at the Rugby Explorer app, just matching up the two logos together. It's super easy for me. All right, mate. Hornsby host Warnervale at Pennant Hills number 1.
Hornsby need to regroup after that Terrigal match. They've had the
by Hornsby. Do you mean Warnervale?
Yeah, why not?
Warnervale need to regroup because that was going to be my opening line. You started with Hornsby.
They do. They got an absolute flogging.
Yeah.
Concerningly so. Terrigal were very good, don't get me wrong. I'm in no way, shape or form diminishing their performance because it was strong and one of the better ones I've seen this year. But I was hoping and expecting more from Watervale. So, Hornsby for me.
You know what I'm going to say about this game? If Warnervale don't win this weekend...
You're putting a line through them?
I'm putting a line through them.
There you go. Is that because you think Hornsby's shit?
It's not because I think Hornsby's shit. But it's because Warnervale started the season so strong and they're just starting to decline. But it's the size of the victory against Terrigal.
Do you know what Hornsby are?
What are Hornsby?
Hornsby are my Lions, pal. You know what they are?
Well, they're the only Lions now. There's no need for a line off when they're the only line in the
That's
jungle.
exactly right. I've got your back, Hornsby.
Woy Woy take the line off shield to the death of them. To the grave. All right, so I'm going to back in Warnervale for this one. I think they. What's the ladder looking like? I mean,
are you okay, mate? Are you with us here? Or?
Not really. Well, the video's not on. I'm not prepping up for the camera or anything. I'm slouching down. I'm going to go Warnervale.
Thanks, mate.
No worries. Terrigal host Carryong, match of the round, match of the season so far. I'll go as far as saying.
Jake Hubbard coming off outstanding form at the representative tournament, scoring I think 3 tries in the final.
Grandy, yep.
So it's going to be a really, really good game.
Who are you going?
Where's it at?
The Haven.
Terrigal.
I'll back a Carryong upset. Man, this is the game to see how far out in front
do you know
Terrigal are, if they are out in front. I've only watched Carryong once, which was against Gossip, which was a horrible display of rugby from both teams.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That performance by Carryong in regards to, I think it showed their weak underbelly in regards to getting under their skin, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It could have just been the height of emotion of the Gossip game and just called it that was just a one-off. But it's certainly an avenue I'd be pursuing as a coach.
Well, I remember when they played last year at Carryong and I watched Sam Kenny just go to work on some of the players. Yeah. So just his subtleties and what he does that just really tips players over the edge. All legal as well.
The last thing I'd be doing is giving Carryong any chance to get confidence up.
Yeah.
Because if they are a confident side, you are going to be copping a flogging or you're in for a bloody hard match for 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Carryong are an absolutely outstanding rugby side who have the potential to win the competition when they're switched on.
And you've also got Dankett with the ability to keep the ball away from Jake Hubbard, which is
correct
because he's just danger.
You've also got the Terrigal rugby side who are capable and have won the competition.
Yeah.
So what an absolute cracking match. I think Terrigal will do it. I think there's too many. They've got a few more mature players, but I think it's going to be an outstanding game. I won't congratulate Toddy Atkins on his 200th first grade game because
we're not doing that.
We did it for his 199th.
Exactly. 200 is nothing. Again, I'll back Carryong in there despite your very convincing argument just then. Last game, Lakes host Gosford.
Well, Lakes had to win last week. We called it, and they did. I just hope Marshall's not back in charge.
Well, this is Elam's first game against Gosford. He hasn't come up against the old.
Well, hopefully Els has still got the coaching clipboard because.
Well, how will Els go though against Gosford? Do you think that they keep him under wraps or not?
Yeah. Els is sweet. Els is Lakes through and through, mate.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, yeah.
Are you questioning his integrity?
No, I'm not, and I know that he's there this week, and he'll because I said that I think they're giving him one more week just to they're just sort of seeing if it was from what came out of that board meeting. Yeah. They're going to give him one more week before they weigh up between him and Marshall. So if they win this week, I think it's although Marshall, as you said, does have the full support of the board, and they've said that.
Yeah.
Giving him another week. So Lakes for me this week, and that's our 3 games. So Hornsby host Warnervale, Terrigal host Carryong, and Lakes host Gosford. All right, Barthy.
You didn't even. Did you delete that then or not?
Yeah, I deleted it. I didn't delete it.
Bullshit.
I didn't delete it. I cut to the next part, so I've got that. That's booked. All right, Barthy, let's go on to the women's. The Lakes host Avoca.
This would be a good game. Lakes coming off a big victory last week or a couple of weeks ago against the Hornsby side.
I think this is match of the round.
They're hosting.
Yep. Lakes are hosting, yes, at Slade Park.
Yeah, it would be interesting to get an injury report.
Can we buy a vowel, please? Can we? It'd be interesting too.
To get an injury report to see how many of the Evoca girls have been sort of knocked around a bit from the country championships. Because I think it's a really good opportunity for Lakes to get a win. I'm going to back the Evoca Beach side. They've been strengthened by a few Watford women who showed up to play. Are you okay?
I'm just listening to the vowels coming out of your mouth. They're unreal.
And Evoca Beach for me.
I'm going to back Evoca as well. Although it would be refreshing to see a Lakes upset.
Oh,
I think they're on the charge. See what I did there?
You got some splinters in your ass. That's what you got to do.
I do. Got 1 foot on one side, 1 foot on the other. Terrigal host Orenbong. How do you think of it?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough day for Orenbong.
I think Orenbong remain Orenbong. I think I can see Terrigal running out big winners there. Unfortunately for Orenbong. Think they'll get there. Think we'll see Karimba by the end of the year.
We will. We'll see Karimba.
Yeah.
I'm going to back him for a win over Hornsby.
Over Hornsby?
I've put a line through Hornsby.
Have you?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. I haven't put a line through Hornsby. Next game, Hornsby versus Warnervale.
Warnervale.
Jesus.
Mate, my Wildcat women. I told you they were impressive against the Trojans. You wouldn't think so with a 40-odd to 5 score line. They were impressive.
Listeners, I rang Barthy as he's at the game. And he's telling me, he's like, mate, I don't know how this team is not in the top 2 or in the top 3. I was like, mate, what's the score? And I think it was whatever it was.
No, it was 19-5, 19-5, I think.
Yeah, so I thought they were up 19-5 with the way that you're going on about it. And they're getting done 19-5 in the first half.
My Wildcat women, come on, ladies, you can do it.
But you're impressed. I'm not done with Hornsby yet. I won't put the line through them. I'll back them this week. If they fail me this week, I think I might put the line.
Can I see the team sheet? If their inspirational captain is not playing, I think you saw that. I think you saw that the evidence of that last week.
If you think a team sheet is getting uploaded to Rugby Explorer
for 4 or 5 minutes,
yeah, exactly, not happening at all. All right, that's the games this weekend. Lakes host Avoca, Terrigal host Orenbong, and Hornsby host Warnervale. All right, Barthy, halfway through the year, let's have a look at the ladder. So on the men's, we'll start with the men's. We'll leave Woy Woy out of it now. So Avoca has played the most games. They've played 7 games. Everybody else has played 6. So Avoca lead on 29 points, Carryong on 26, Terrigal 24, Warnervale 17, Lakes 16, Razorbacks 16, Hornsby 12, and Gosford 5. Mate, thoughts? Who's the surprise packet so far?
Mate, surprise packet for me, the Avoca Beach side, topping the table. Always knew they'd be competitive and there or thereabouts, but never. I didn't really expect them to be in the top 3, to be honest.
Yep.
So they're my surprise packet. The other surprise packet is the sluggish start by the Razorbacks.
Yep.
I would expect almost. Yeah, I would expect them to be sort of top 3 or extremely close to it, not in 6th on for and against.
Yep.
So they're probably my 2 surprise packets. I expected Carryong to be competitive, which they are. I'm not surprised by Carryong being sort of in the second position. Terrigal, there or thereabouts. They've all won the same amount of games. There's bonus points in between.
Yep.
And then we start to drift away the second half of that sort of top 5 with Warnervale. Who was the other team?
Lakes, Razorbacks,
and
Hornsby.
Rakes. I thought Hornsby might be a little bit more competitive as well, but certainly I wouldn't put them in the surprise packet. But it would be the Razorbacks' sluggish start and the Avoca Beach's outstanding start in leading the competition. They are the 2 things that probably surprised me the most at the halfway point. I also just want to give a quick shout out to how well the rugby community has done after a very difficult start of the competition in regards to moving games, getting wherever they can.
It's been a horrible start, hasn't it?
Yeah, so there's some absolute positives for me.
I think even that, the Lakes, how many game changes there?
Yeah,
I think they've played it. Have they played at Slade Park yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, right.
I don't think so.
So, or if they have, they've only played 1 game there. So that's a...
What are your thoughts, mate? What are your surprises?
My surprise, Avoca, which was the one that you said. Razorbacks for me, I think was the one with how they started the season, but I still think they're in pretty good stead of moving forward. They've had 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, so they split it evenly.
And a good taste of it all.
But I think they've done really well considering the start they had and the players they had available in those first few weeks. So that first team sheet was diabolical in terms of you had two backs up against the Red Hot Lakeside. So I think they've done really, really well to sort of to get to that spot. And I say that they've done well to get to 6.
Yeah,
but I think it is that tight.
It's probably a good testament to we discussed them having genuine rugby players and putting them in positions. You know, we joked about Grangey playing 9. Maybe it's the strength of those genuine rugby players. Maybe they have done an outstanding job and almost overachieved in how they managed the start of the season.
Yeah,
so,
I think they have as well, because those other two games could have easily been losses if it wasn't for their, I suppose, rugby nous of hanging in there and ability to do that, and that just that ability to hang in for the fight for the whole thing. Because if they lose those 2 games, they're losing him against the Lakes, they're losing him against Warnervale, and that skyrockets them, and that's a huge gap now between them, and that really puts them down. So I think, it's credit to those guys there. So I think Warnervale, we always thought that's where they'll be. Like, if we said halfway through the season, Warnervale are going to be sitting 4th behind Avoca, Carroll, and Terrigal, we go, yeah, probably fair enough. Like, that's where they would be up after their recruitment. But they've started real strong, and as we said earlier, they've started to
stepping away a bit.
Exactly. So if they lose this weekend against 7th place Hornsby, who have only won 2 games this year, I think that's when that slide starts. So and that would be the surprising thing for me, is if they start to slide down a bit more and don't sort of continue with that strong run of form.
It's a game Hornsby got to win too, to keep in contact with the top sides. Definitely. Or the top 5.
Definitely. All right, on to the women's. Let's see how we're shaping up. So it's a bit different here. Terrigal played 6, Avoca have played 4, Lakes have played 5, Hornsby, Warnervale, and Oranbong have played 5. So Avoca's only played 2 games less than the top place. Terrigal out front on 29 points. Avoca in second on 14 points. So huge gap there, but again, 2 games behind. Lakes are on 14, Hornsby on 10, Warnervale on 6, Oranbong on 0. Mate, surprise packet.
It's an interesting one, because Terrigal leading the comp don't surprise me. Avoca winning all their games don't surprise me.
They've lost 1.
Did they? Who'd they lose to?
Say Terrigal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did. Yeah. Second or third game.
Yeah.
But them being up there's no surprise there. I'll tell you what is, Lake's knocking off Hornsby. That's a surprise. And I think
up until 2 weeks ago,
I've been more surprised in the last 2 weeks than I have over the season, if that makes sense.
Well, like Hornsby, for me, it would have been Hornsby until the Terrigal game, and they lost a couple of guns as well.
Yeah.
That was the turning point for me, whereas it was Hornsby were probably the surprise packet, where they were starting to achieve what they could achieve with that team.
Yep.
But obviously, getting done losing a couple of players, that I think it's now swung a little bit. That's the Lakes. Do you think Warnervale are underachieving? Your Wildcat women.
My Wildcat women.
5 starts, 5 games, 1 win, 4 losses.
Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised by that, for the performance I saw from them 2 weeks ago. What they do lack is speed.
Yeah.
And when you're playing 10s rugby, speed is very, very good to have.
Yeah.
They had one young lady who was outstanding. She head and shoulders the fastest on the field for them. Yeah, it'd be a good match race against Sian George.
Yeah.
She was great. But yeah, a drop pass here and there, and I'll use Sian as an example, pounced on the ball went away she went.
Yeah.
Couple of half gaps, and the Terrigal women were just too skillful in the way they went. So I am surprised that they're 4-1, because they're a good rugby side. They're just missing, I guess, that little bit of speed, and that execution of skill has let them down. Certainly the game I saw, but I'm still holding out for them. I think they can they can certainly do better than what they currently have. So I'm expecting a better second half of the season for them.
I think it'll be good watching Carrong and Terrigal go around the second time. I still think it's out of those two who wins it for me.
The Carrong women.
Sorry. Avoca and Terrigal. What did I say? Carrong and Terrigal?
Yeah, you did, mate. Yeah.
Terrigal and Avoca. Avoca, Terrigal. I don't know where I'm in Carrong for as well. It doesn't say Carrong.
They're called Oranbong anyway,
It says Razorbacks down the bottom. I still think it's out of Avoca and Terrigal for me. I don't see any the others challenging those two for the premiership. And even in that, I think Terrigal probably will be out in front. All right, well, that's the mid-season review. Oh, Barthy, that brings an end to a videoless episode, courtesy of you and your inability to look before you walk.
Yep.
Anything else to add, mate?
No, mate, I don't think so. Thank you, everyone, for half time. Thank you to our supporters who get on board, listen, share us around, watch us on YouTube. Thank you to our referees, to everyone who's done everything they can to get this competition underway. It's been great. We've had good halfway there. We've got another exciting second half to go. So thank you, everyone, so far for their efforts.
See ya!